struggle just to find the way. Yeah, yeah. I'm wondering, I wonder if it's a land. Yeah. Oh, 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 easy, ready, willing, overtime. Where does it stop? Where do you dare me to draw the line? You've got the body, now you want my soul. Don't even think about it, say no go.
What are you guys doing? Look at you guys. Look at that compound.
Yes, yes. This is actually our compound where we play.
We call it our clubhouse.
I mean,
like compound better now.
Yeah, I think we may use compound.
Yeah.
The implications.
I mean, look at that. It's artistic. I mean, for the audio audience, I mean, that screams rock and roll, creativity, 80s. That's where Grammys are made. Look at that.
That's right.
Exactly.
Or where we open a casino, one of the two.
Or where we just make our own Grammys in here.
Yeah, we have to Grammy.
Yeah. Oh, I love
That's
it.
good, guys.
Well,
Oh, guys, well, thank you guys for joining. What a pleasure.
Thank
Thanks
you for having us.
Yeah. Good to be here.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you guys are one of the most exciting bands coming out of New York in some time. You guys recently signed with BMG. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
And, you guys capture some of the best stuff of the 80s with just some splendid songwriting, guys. Great reputation. And you just released a great cover of one of the good friends of our show, John Oates of Hall & Oates, Man Eater.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah, he's been here a couple times. He lives here in Nashville, so I can't wait to play that to him next time he's around. Absolutely. That's a
Just
cracker.
send us his address when you're all fine. We'll just go pay him a visit. Give him a little care package with
Yeah.
the song.
Yeah. We'll hand him the song. Yeah.
No, but you guys did a great job.
That is great.
They're a great group.
We're
Great duo.
we're such huge fans. So
And it's not an easy song to cover.
No.
It's you know what I mean. But you guys did a splendid job there.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate that.
Of course, I know. And your EP, Your Drug, is coming out in June now, right?
Yes, I believe it's June. It got pushed back a little bit, but still very
well,
excited.
actually, what happened is that this is to tie everything into I Can't Go For That. The Hall & Oates cover we did is that was kind of released as it's like a starting point, but not necessarily a single. And it got so much traction and has gotten so much positive feedback from amazing people like yourself that now they want to allow a little bit more time for that to grow. I think we're actually going to shoot a music video for it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, am I spoiling anything? And then,
No, I think
all right.
yeah,
and the
this
next
is all-
in the next couple of weeks, and then they want more. So now it's like they pushed off the release of the full EP, so people can enjoy I Can't Go For That, and obviously our own first single, Versions of You, which is out now. They want people to simmer on that a little bit.
Absolutely.
We're digging
So,
into the main chorus.
Yeah.
absolutely, Pat and Mitchell. So let's start with this, guys. We're pretty much at the anniversary of COVID. 1 year.
Hooray!
Happy anniversary.
Where's the birthday cake and fireworks?
Did you guys get vaccinated by any chance, or not yet?
Yeah, we can't. I mean, to be honest, so I get the updates on my phone. They're doing 50 years and plus starting tomorrow. So, I mean, if we did it, someone would bludgeon us to death, which would counteract the effects of the vaccine, because I don't think that protects you from being beaten to death with baseball bats. So no, we have to wait in line.
Yeah, we're waiting in line for now, but everyone that's getting it, hope it's
Absolutely.
a good experience. I've heard mixed reviews. I mean, not that it doesn't vaccinate you, but you do not. Some people didn't feel well after getting it. So I hope everyone feels well after.
A very good friend of mine and ours, actually. I don't want to mention her name on air, but she's still in the news. It's still legitimate news media personality. She just got one of the vaccines and is just sick. It just did a live cast from home with it, and she's like all like, yeah.
Interesting. I got mine. And the arm pain. They say, "Oh, your arm's gonna hurt." No, like it feels like you want to rip it apart. Hurt.
Really? Oh my god.
Yes, it's like serious pain for like a couple of days.
This is good. Are we helping anyone right now with this? But definitely get it. So
Yes.
But your arm will hurt.
you have to get it so you can come see us play live. Although I don't think there's
Exactly.
big live shows until a certain percentage is.
Oh my god! And you guys are amazing live. We'll get to that. But yeah, the question was, guys, like how now that it seems like we're at the end of this, knock on wood, we're getting out of the weeds here. Like, how are you guys gonna look back at this period for you guys professionally, creatively, and personally?
Wow.
Well, I think to start off,
That's a great question.
I will look at the pictures of the beard that I grew down to here. To start, that was the first thing I did.
missed it.
Also just look at it as an opportunity to, sharpen our skills as musicians. And, I mean, we didn't stop, this entire time. And it was tough because being locked away in your apartments or wherever, it's not easy for anybody, but we're glad that we were able to get through it. Anyone that's still having a tough time with the whole COVID thing, our heart goes out to them. And, we hope that everything does go back to normal as soon as possible. I mean, we were ready to go to start playing. We're so excited.
Yeah.
And hopefully things do go back all the way normal. It would be nice to, go to the grocery store without a mask on, or anywhere without a mask.
And without pants on.
Yeah. Because
I
I want to go
got-
back to not wearing pants. I mean, now you got to wear pants.
It's terrible.
Oh my
It's a whole
God.
thing.
But so we signed with BMG in the middle of this. We signed with them over the summer. So there was a lot of, it was very surreal because on one hand, we're locked down, the world's locked down, we don't know what's happening. But on the other hand, we're kicking ass writing. As a guitar player, it's very easy, because you just play guitar, you're on your couch playing guitar anyways.
Yeah.
But we wrote a lot of music. And we ended up signing with BMG during the pandemic. So it was a very surreal moment. You have this real balance of overwhelming happiness. And then at the same time, we can't actually perform. I mean, I bought all these very expensive bottles of whiskey for us to celebrate. They haven't even been open yet. It's like we haven't really been able to do that. So
you signed over Zoom like this, right? Like it was all digital, all virtual.
Yeah, pretty much.
we weren't even together. We
yeah.
couldn't even get together for it. So we all did it. Like, I think maybe we did, we were on the phone with each other.
I mean, I didn't even trim my beard.
Yeah, there was no point.
It's just, I just had this giant beard that, I mean, when you're locked in your house, I mean, why not? But yeah, it was everything was over the computer, and we're happy that it happened, and we're super excited. And
Yeah.
Again, it's we feel very fortunate that we were able to for this to happen for us. So,
And to exploit the time we were handed and turn it into a net positive.
Well, I mean, the universe works in ways that we don't even know about. It's always conspiring. So, it worked. I think it's working for you guys in a perfect way. I mean, the word is spreading about January Jane. The hype is building.
Like a virus? Is that what you?
we hope not.
if you want to imply it's like a virus, sure. With variants, with Chinese variants on top.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But so listen, I think it's gonna work out great because people are clamoring. I think there's a real anticipation to see you guys perform live. So that's cool.
Appreciate that. Thanks.
Absolutely. So Pat, obviously, you started playing piano and drums since you were young, in Connecticut, but it was in college that you started singing. I'm just curious, what was like the breakthrough moment in college where you were like, fuck this, like I'm putting all my efforts now into this, like no looking back, the moment of truth, moment of breakthrough?
Well, for me, it was, it's funny. I went to college because I wanted to be a surgeon, and I was pre-med chemistry, and
Did you want to be a surgeon, or did other people want you to be a surgeon?
my mom wanted me to be a surgeon. So no, but I went, I had this dream of becoming a doctor, and, like any great story starts, of course there was a girl involved, and I ended up writing a song about heartbreak, and I performed it in the Village. I didn't even know if I could sing really, and performed with one of my roommates, and people loved it. And I mean, as soon as I got on stage, that was it. It only took one time for me to realize that this is something that I love. I'd never even sang before, so it was kind of a surreal moment in my life.
Wow.
That decision. My parents were super pissed, but with all of the things that have happened along the way, and meeting Mitch, and all of the writing with January Jane, and releasing all the stuff, and Peter, and Matt Pinfield, and everything. It's been quite a ride.
A journey. It's been quite a ride.
Yeah, and I think that in those moments in life, you just, when you know, and you've got to make that decision to take a shot, and you're taking a shot on yourself. So it's there's nothing wrong with that. So still here, and I love it. Very excited about it.
I love it. Mitch, by the way, you're so, founder of the band. You're so damn good with that guitar. So good.
Thank you very much.
So, I just have to ask you a first question. Can I give you any guitar? Could I just get out like any guitar and you would make it sound good? Or are you very specific about like?
No,
the type of guitar
it's so funny you say that. I actually prefer picking up junky old guitars and playing them. I find it more fun. I had this opportunity where Guitar World asked me to record something for Guitar World, and during the summer, and I was in Connecticut. I didn't have my equipment, and there just happened to be this old acoustic guitar in the house I was at, and it obviously hadn't been played in probably 2-3 years. The strings on it were all rusty, but I had no choice but to use that guitar to put something together, like spur of the moment, that was going to go out on Guitar World. And I found it to be much more enjoyable than perfectly set up guitar, all polished and everything, and we were hiding behind a wall of sound and all the delays.
Right.
I enjoy it. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, the answer is yes.
Also, we accept any guitars. If you want to just give us guitars, we're happy to take any and all guitars. Yeah.
I love it, Mitch. And of course, Mitch, you have this great story. You've talked about it to death, but like for my audience that may be unaware of it, after hearing a demo of some of the early guitar stuff that you did, the jazz legend Larry Wills of Blood, Sweat, and Tears and Miles Davis, he kind of took you under his wing, right? Like, what was that about? That's crazy. That's a great story.
It's insanity. I'll never know the impact because it was at that formative age, like maybe like right around in high school, and that's right when I was started playing guitar seriously. And it's at the time you don't think about it; it's just happening. But in hindsight, it's insanity. I mean, we started recording. I have all these recordings on these, on 2-inch reels of us playing.
Hey, you did flamenco jazz, like
what? It was this weird whimsical stuff. I remember I was in the studio. Where you record in a studio, and there was just like junk on the floor, and I just started picking it up and smacking it into the guitar and getting sounds that way. I mean, very surreal. It's the story of our lives.
How did you guys connect? Like, how did you guys meet? And did you know who he was?
Same thing. Pat took me under his wing.
I found garbage on the floor and we started throwing it against guitars. No, I mean, how did we meet? Honestly,
we actually met legitimately at a gallery opening. For this great
that's right, because you were shooting the opening, right?
Yes, we had a mutual friend. We had a mutual friend that's an artist. I was there shooting a documentary style type thing, and Mitch was there for the opening. And someone introduced us, and he needed a singer, I needed a guitar player, and from there we met up a couple days later and literally wrote a song in 10 minutes, which ironically enough will end up coming out on the next EP. But I love how it's all full circle, but it was just one of those things where you just know.
It was like chemistry, right? Is it like love, but creatively, like like love at first sight kind of thing? But like creative.
Yeah, love at first song.
Love at first song. And the artist Jason Etzamza, he painted this guitar for me. But I think before we were actually like a serious band, he just wanted to experiment. He does like a lot of stuff for Nike, and so it's like a lot of shoes. But he asked me if I had an extra guitar lying around.
So for the audio audience, Mitchell is picking up this most beautiful guitar. It's like roses. It's a piece of art, basically. It's a piece of art more than a guitar.
He wanted to see what it would be like to paint a guitar, and I had one. Thank God I gave him a really high quality one. A USA Eddie Van Halen Wolfgang guitar that I had, and he painted it up, and it became. I mean, even that is insane.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, basically the stars all aligned, and we met and we wrote a song, and again, it's one of those things where you just know right off the bat, and especially when it's that fast. When you write a song that fast, there's obviously something. You just know,
right?
The more things change, the more they stay the same. This is called Versions of You. Down and out tonight, I'm cold. I left my heart somewhere by the stars. Hey! Thought about our situation over and over till I lost. Hey! So no more empty nights at your doorstep, no more missing you, 'cause I won't be there to hold you, because I think I want another another version of you, and I know what I would do. I'd go back to nothing that I wouldn't do when you had nothing to prove and there was something to lose. Oh, oh, so don't you let me down. No, don't you let me down. No, don't you let me down. Let me down, let me down. Saw you on the train to nowhere, staring at a sketch of yourself. Hey! Drawn up some lost excuses, wondering what you're gonna sell. Hey! So no more empty nights in the moment, and no more kissing you, 'cause I won't be there to love you, because I think I want another version of you, and I know what I would do. I'd go back to nothing that I wouldn't do when you had nothing to prove and there was something to lose. Oh, oh, so don't you let me down. No, don't you let me down. No, don't you let me down. Let me down. Let me down. Hey! Oh, oh. Hey! Don't let me down. Woo! Another version of you, and I know what I would do. I'd go back to somewhere that we never knew, when you had nothing to prove and there was something to lose. Another version of you, and I know what I would do. I'd go back to everything starting with you, when we had something to prove and there was nothing to lose. So don't you let me down. No, don't you let me down. No, don't you let me down. Let me down. Let me down. Thank you.
Man, the universe is conspiring with you guys. Like, I am putting my chips on you guys. If you guys want to bet on cryptocurrency or stocks, I just
Oh,
there you go,
you're
man.
right up our
Oh yeah, we love
Because
that's right up
obviously
our alley.
the momentum of the universe is with you guys. Now, Pat, let me ask you about this, of course, because you did go on American Idol. You made it pretty far. You made it to the Hollywood stage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I would, yeah.
But tell me a little bit about like how your mother like pushed you to do this, because you just referenced, that at the beginning your parents were a little disappointed, shocking in the decision, and yet you come here full circle, and it is your mom pushing you to American Idol. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, actually, it was. I never even thought about doing American Idol. I was so dead set on releasing music and playing live, but she had an open heart surgery, and when she was recovering, you just want to make people feel better when they're going through something like that. So I asked,
Sure.
Mom, what can I do to make you feel better? And out of nowhere, she's like, go on American Idol. I was like, what? So very random, but
Did she love it? Like, did you know she loved it?
She loved it. She actually,
and she made it full recovery. So
yes,
I mean, it actually worked.
and she recovered. So that's the important part. But yeah, she actually saw me on TV during, I think it was during the Super Bowl, that my face was in one of the commercials for American Idol.
That's
And
great.
that was like a big moment for her, was seeing. I think it also made it more real. When you say you're going to do something, and then something like that, you're recognized even for a second, for a talent, that was a big deal for her. So yeah, it was a cool experience, and I'm glad I did it for my mom. And
That's
please
New,
excuse
that's
the,
New York City for you.
yeah, apparently
love it.
there's a freight
I
train
miss
going
it.
down 8th Avenue.
I miss New York. This is the longest I've been without going to New York since I was a child. I miss it to death,
Wow.
man.
Really, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
because of the. Yeah.
it's a different city right now, but hopefully it goes back to the way it was. You know, I think
Oh,
it
yeah.
Well, yeah, because
Sure it will.
it goes back to better than it was, because it wasn't that great. I'm just kidding. No, we love it.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for sharing that, Pat. That's a beautiful story. You guys have been so good with your time. I do want to talk about Hall & Oates, but first, let me ask you about Matt Pinfield that you guys mentioned briefly. One of the early champions of your band, guys. Obviously, on the Whiskey Vinyl label, he signed you guys. Tell us a little bit about that friendship with Matt, and you know what it's meant to you guys to this point.
Oh, where do we start?
Yeah, the story's insane. You know, Matt's is a real genius. You know, if what did I say before? If musical knowledge was worth actual money, he would be the richest person in the world.
I mean, he's the one guy on the planet that can tell you what, you know, David Bowie was eating for lunch April 10th, you know, 1980. I mean, he's just that guy.
Yeah.
And it's scary if you can't stump him. I've tried, and you really can't. It's something.
That's also surreal, because obviously we're huge fans of him, you know, from all the music network stuff, MTV, VH1. I mean, and it's just universally respected across all genres. But so he came and saw us perform at this converted porn theater in Times Square here, and we've been
Really?
Yeah. It was
Nice.
converted. This was after, it was way after.
The floors were very sticky.
After gentrification, right? After the hippies moved in, right?
Yes,
I got
yeah,
you.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
after the
He came and saw us, and then all of a sudden we're like all back at my apartment going through all of our demos, and we're ordering food, and this went on for months, where he would just come over, go through our demos, give us advice.
And we started going to LA to record.
Yeah.
You know,
He arranged for us to record in LA, out at NRG. We did a whole album out there. And now we're here.
Yeah. And he's been
And he just sent us another song list yesterday or 2 days ago of things. So
yeah, but it's been a great experience working with Matt, and you know, he's been nothing but
he's
helpful.
a real brother. I mean, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
He's been so helpful with trying to guide us, you know, through, you know, literally one of the most difficult jobs in the world. You know,
It's so
especially
great when you hear about someone like a public figure like Matt, who's had a career like he's had.
Right.
And it turns out that he's just like a sweetheart and a great-hearted person. And instead of like he's an asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like something like, you know, like there's word here in Nashville that like, you know, one of the big guys here, I won't say his name, but one of his songs is Chicken Fried. He's like a huge asshole, right? Like that kind of thing. And like you hear it from different sources and it's disappointing. So it's always nice when you hear the opposite.
Yes.
No, he's
Yes,
a
awesome.
What have you heard about us?
I'll tell you what I've heard about you guys. I've heard that you guys are sick live.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like that you guys are an epitome of like a live act. And I was, you know, let's finish with that, guys, because obviously we haven't been able to perform live for a year now.
I love it. You just announced we're sick and that we're spreading.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. PTSD here with you guys. But guys, tell us a little bit about the importance of you guys live. I saw some YouTube stuff. And like, what can fans expect from you guys when you hit the stage back up in the fall? Knock on wood.
I mean, 100% pure energy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we live, if we could live on stage, we would, you know, it's the most fun place in the world. And I feel like it's the one place you can actually be yourself completely.
Yeah, 100%. That's
Right?
a great way of looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah. And connecting with the crowd is, it really is one of the most special things in the world.
And almost everything else you do is like an excuse and a vehicle just to be able to perform live. That's the icing and the cake. It's everything.
Yeah, and we hope that by summertime or shortly after summer, you know, there will be concerts coming back and festivals.
Yeah.
I mean, we're ready to go, and the whole band is
Absolutely.
really excited and ready to play. And yeah, it really is one of those things I wouldn't trade it for anything.
No.
Yeah.
Amazing. Pat, why is that? We've had a lot of artists here that they say that they're very introspective, they're very quiet, but like they are exuberant live. They are, you know, explosive on stage. Why that difference between the real persona and who they become in front of 30,000 people?
I think that it has to do with, it's kind of a release for people. It's like I mean, it's almost like an out of body experience. I know that's such a cliche way to look at things, but I feel like I've had that experience. Like there's times where we've played great live shows and I'll get off stage and I'll be like, what happened? You know, like you just don't even, it's such a euphoric feeling that it's and like I said, it's a place where you can be yourself. And when you're connecting with an audience like that, especially with something that you've written and
Wow.
that you believe in. It's like they're seeing a piece of you that really no one else can see, and not like that, not at that time, So that's why I think, I mean, I'm a little bit like that, as extroverted as we are, I think that I feel like I'm more at home on stage in front of an audience
Than you are at home.
than I am at home.
If you could actually harness the energy, all of our power needs would be solved, because you're giving energy and then getting it back from the audience, and it creates this endless cycle of like perpetual motion, which is theoretically impossible, but on stage it is what is happening. So
Wow.
it's unbelievable.
That's a nice way to look at it. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I love
We're
it.
still trying to figure out how to harness all of that.
Yes,
if
we are.
do find out, we'll be on the New York Stock Exchange in no time. So yeah.
That's what's happening in your
Elon
compound.
Musk, we're coming for you.
Well, listen, Pat Villa, Mitchell, you
Ooh.
guys have said it all today. It's been
Sure.
it's been a real pleasure to have you guys. What a great group of guys. I mean, amazing
Thank you
musicians.
so much.
Your new EP comes out in June. Amazing cover of of Hall and Oates. You guys are about to take over, and I think we're just honored that we had you on the show before you exploded. So
Well, JRod,
Thank you
thank
so
you again
much.
for having us, and make sure that you check out the Hall and Oates. I Can't Go For That, and also
Oh, yeah.
the View. And we're super excited to get playing live, and we'll come see you. We'll come see you as soon as we can.
Yep.
absolutely.
Get a
All right,
pull
guys.
out ready.
Take care, guys. Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
Later, man. Take care.